with that, we are ready to go to our next run. That's going to be Kingdom Hearts 3 run by the amazing Beeboy Cubed. Take it away, Beeboy.
Hello, everyone. I'm Beeboy. Been playing Kingdom Hearts since I'm a kid. Started speedrunning Kingdom Hearts 3 mid-2019. Fell in love with it. Been doing it ever since. Today, we are doing Limitcut. 13 super bosses in a row, no breaks, with a bunch of restrictions. Let's start there, all right? RPG limit break. Let's look at the stats first. Strength and magic determine your damage for physical and magic attacks respectively. For our purposes, though, they don't matter. For the Limitcut bosses, you need over 72 of one of those stats to actually make a difference and get over that damage floor. So we're doing the minimum damage possible. Now, compared to the base game, the scaling's a little bit better, so we're not going to be doing chip damage, but just keep that in mind. For our defense, that does matter for the damage formula, so you want to put on the best armor that you have. In terms of our accessories, we're using the Second Chance and Withstand combo star medals. They are important for one of the strats in particular, so we can't do without them. And then Rune Ring for extra cast, because although we will only have basically one MP bar to work with throughout the fights, having that extra cast of magic will help out on quite a few of the fights. And then for our Keyblades, Ultima Weapon is our main Keyblade because of its combo boost and air combo boost abilities. We're just basically going to be doing physical combos the entire time. And Grand Chef is just a backup. It's got Wizard's Ruse, which has a chance of healing you. It's basically your only way to heal with the pro codes. Speaking of the pro codes, over here, these come with the DLC. They're a set of 13. Haha, nice one, Nomura. 13 restrictions. Some of them don't matter too much if you're already on level 1. Like default status doesn't really do all that much. However, some of them are extremely impactful. The ones that are important for us, no shot locks, no items, and no form changes. So you don't get access to a lot of the good stuff that would make these go fast. But we'll still go fast. Last thing to note, in terms of the order that we do the bosses in, we basically group them up by reprisal. So we start off with the counter slash fights. You'll see what counter slash is in a second. I'll point it out. And then we do the counter kick fights after. And then also some of the bosses resist neutral damage, which last charge, which is the like DLC finisher that they added. Last charge deals neutral damage. So we're going to avoid using it on the fights where it's bad and then use it on the fights where it's good. Anyways, I am ready to start. Our first boss here is going to be Zigbar, going to be using counter slash. I'm ready to go in 3, 2, 1. Let's do it. Okay, first thing here, I'm going to gap close in. And immediately launch him up. When you guard, you can counter attack with a reprisal. In this case, counter slash. We're going to launch him up into the air using our combo, and that lets us get a dive. That is our main thing we're going to be doing on most of these fights, trying to get a dive attack, because it does extremely good damage for the amount of revenge value that it deals. Now, in this case, he's kind of standing on the floor, so we can't actually launch him for a dive, so we're just going to combo him there. Now, if you haven't seen this, well, we have a strat here. Normally, you just hit him while he's open here, and it's all good. Instead, we're going to... Okay, well, maybe not like that. Wait, let's try that again. So the angle is really important. Your camera angle and the angle that Zigbar is relative to Sora to make sure that he ends up in the right position inside the arrow we're in. Same deal here. Launch him for a dive. Okay, we're just going to back up here. Blue bullet here is RNG, which can make it a little bit frustrating to deal with when you're going for really, really fast clears of this boss, but that's okay. The setup that I do there with my air slide and stuff makes it so that the blue bullet isn't too big of a concern.
Start dancing.
I want to be around here, I think, should work. Yep, that's fine. That's exactly where you want it to be, inside the arrow rain. Now we're going to do this, and... Okay. That's... your timing on your counter slash and your final blow also affects whether he gets launched up into the rain. If Sora's stuck on the floor while he's doing that, things don't go so well. We're going to continue on here, though. Get a parry with Sonic Slash, and then launch him into the air. And dive on him again. Air step in, and try and do stuff. Now this is where the blue bullet RNG is relevant. If you can get it just right, you can get multiple reprisals. There, getting the 2 is still really, really strong. And then we'll have one more attack here to deal with. Basically comes at you and shoots these powered up bullets that can hit you in the back, which is really scary. So you need to make sure that Sora's positioning is such that he can guard them properly. All right, we're going to go for one more dive here. And then we are going into his desperation move, the first of many. Totally invulnerable. We're just going to dodge.
You can't get away.
For this second part here, you can just jump and air slide. I haven't learned how to do it the proper way. Just jump, air slide always works. And here we're just going to walk along the wall slowly to make sure that the pools that appear under you don't end up hitting you. This is scary. Caught him, though. Okay, this is doable, I think. Hit him with a Sonic Slash, Rising Spiral, and that gets you enough height. Okay, that was a good backup there. I wasn't close enough for the first reprisal. Jump in the air to make sure that you can get that parry that I did before with Sonic Slash. And now he's in the air again. All right, normally we're pretty deep into the fight at this point, and we usually kill him on the next opening here. So we're going to have some extra stuff to deal with. We'll see how that goes. He's going to spawn another arrow rain. This one's a little bit easier to handle, hopefully. Air slide backwards. Get him towards the wall here, and then we're going to go for some guard reprisals. This was a little bit closer to what I wanted to show at the start, but there you go. Our next fight here is going to be Sykes. Our last counter slash fight, there's only 2. And this one's a little bit interesting. He's one of the hardest casually, but he is super scripted, and the way the fight works, you avoid the hardest part of it. I'll explain a little bit more about that in a second, but first, our main goal here really isn't to deal damage, it's to get his Berserk gauge up as fast as possible. So we're just going to go ahead and do, this is from one of the Japanese Limitcut runners here, Thunder Finisher, double flight, and then land for a dive. And then we're just gonna get that last little bit of the Berserk gauge up, and now he's going in. While he's Berserk, he's much more aggressive, but he's still just as open, just like here at the start. We're going to Rising Spiral, and then go ahead and go for a Sonic Slash here, and that gets you enough height for a little cheeky dive, even though you don't have Final Blow. Gonna dodge that, and this gives you a wrist dodge opening. A lot of people just air step in on those projectiles, but you can get a slightly juicier opening if you just dodge them. Air slide, guard, and then hit him out of that move, and then we're gonna Thunder Finisher. And basically just sandbag. He's stunned. We're chilling. Maybe hit him a little bit, but we're good. Damage is not important until the very end.
If that's the case, can I pop in and talk here for a moment?
Absolutely, yes.
I would like to talk about your Yozora Superboss showcase that's coming up. Do you have a second to kind of talk to us about that and why people should be donating for you to showcase that?
All right, so if these 13 bosses are as hard as they are, then why not show off a 14th boss that is even more difficult? And Yozora is also really special. He's like he's showing off where KH4 is going off. We know nothing about him. I think that fight is just so cool. So, okay. This Berserk phase is the same as the previous Berserk phase for the most part, and the reason for that is because we kept him under half HP. If you damage him over half HP, he goes into his Desperation move. I'm gonna try and dodge this here. Okay, good. If you damage him over half HP and he goes into Blue Berserk, he goes into his Desperation move, which you do not want. It is long, you cannot damage him. It is a whole thing. Thunder Finisher, and then we're gonna jump up again for a reprisal. Hit that there, and then hit him again. Same deal here, dodge in there, dodge that, and then get that guard. Okay, position him in the right spot here. There you go, okay. And let's see whether I have enough damage for this. I think we're gonna be slightly under. Our last thing here is gonna be stunned again. And we're gonna just Sonic Slash him to death here. Basically the best damage to time ratio. Yeah, we're gonna have a little bit more to deal, but that's fine. And that's number 2. So yeah, the goal is just to make sure that he doesn't DM and then like get him as close to his DM as you can without going over, and then just kill him in that last Berserk phase. Okay, changing up the combo setup here, we're going for counter kick and last charge. Next fight up, Dark Riku. If you've done Limit Cut, you know this fight very well. I'm just gonna go for a regular combo here. And normally on these fights, we like to dive. However, for Dark Riku, we do not. And that's because his revenge value attack is extremely terrible for you. He is not staggerable. He has no opening for it. And it takes forever. And it spawns a bunch of unblockable lasers under you that are really tough to deal with. Okay, I'll go for the double reprisal here. So we're going to do that and that. And then that gets you a little bit more damage. Does take a little chunk of time, though. After 3 openings at the start of the fight here, he is going to go into his Desperation move. I'm unstoppable! There will be a lot more of that. The English voice lines for this category are so good. If you know, you know. All right, little whiffage there, that's fun. I like to go on the opposite side from him just to make sure that you don't have any shenanigans with the opening that's like the wall that we've seen a couple of times already. All right, his second phase happens once he's at half HP, so we're almost there. For this one, you just guard and hit him out of that. I should note that in Limit Cut, most of the bosses have very strict openings. You're not just able to hit them at any time and expect to deal good damage. You need to hit them at the proper time, and that requires a lot of trial and error, a lot of patience, some problem-solving ability. A lot of them can be intuited if you're looking out for them. Some of them are super esoteric, though, and we'll show those off when they come. Once he's in second phase, you just kind of want to be off the wall here. And that lets you catch all of these at a good clip. Just trickle along. Finish that off, don't do his RV. And then for this one, you just run forward, flash step into that mine that's close to you, and that gets you a crit counter. All right, whenever you get a full aerial dive, you want a Thunder Finisher, because hitting last charge will hit his revenge value. Hitting his barrier, normally probably not a good idea, but it does give you an opening if you don't clank on it. Flash step will never clank on his barrier, so we try and set it up so that we flash step right into it. All right, this one, we're gonna just dodge roll the claw and then guard the follow-up. Not a crit counter, that's fine, we just have to do one more.
While we finish this up, I just want to remind everyone that we have $536 out of a needed $2,000 for that Yozora Superboss showcase. So we got to get that met within the next hour or so, folks.
All right. Speaking of crit counter, I should probably point that out. On critical mode, which was added in a free update to the game, if you are playing on critical mode, you get 3 new abilities. With all pro codes, 2 of them do not matter at all. One of them, crit counter, which is Sora glowing red there, is very, very powerful. If you guard within about an 8-frame window of an attack connecting with Sora, you get the red effect, the cool sound effect, and your reprisal and final blow do a lot more damage. It's extremely important that whenever you are actually hitting an opening properly, that it is crit countered. But otherwise, you're doing a lot less damage. All right, we're gonna hit him while he spawns those icicles. They come in, and then we guard him for some more pain. Young Xehanort, kind of the punching bag of the bunch. He has less HP than the rest. If you're just starting out on these fights, you should probably start out with Young Xehanort. He's a good time. He's a punching bag for another reason, which we'll see in a second. But for that risk dodge opening, so some enemy attacks can guard break Sora, which instead of giving you a reprisal prompt, gives you a wrist dodge prompt instead. And with wrist dodge, you just press circle instead of X, and you basically don't get final blow. So you have 1 extra combo hit that's adding RV compared to the usual. So we just speed slash him, that launches him, and then that gives you just enough height to land the dive. Okay, here we are going to use a Roga. That's going to hit him once, and then that's done. That's it. They just made the armor really, really short, probably because they want this to be the tutorial fight. I'm not exactly sure, but both of the DM phases are over in a flash if you hit your reprisal. Okay. I'm not going to play around here. I'm just going to... That's that Wizard's Ruse activating. We call it Wizard Scam, but it wasn't a scam this time. So I healed from 1 HP, and now second chance and once more. Sorry, withstand combo. Let's get that right. In this game, it's withstand combo. They are reactivated. Oops. I was frozen today. Okay. This wrist dodge should do it as we go into the final DM here. Yeah, it will. All right. So here he's just going to spawn in the back, and hopefully we're good. There you go. That's 4, right? 4, yes. Yes. Okay, next one. Largzine. She's tricky, she's fast, but this is the first instance of what we call attack skipping. This is a bug that's basically exclusive to the Limitcut fights, and I guess Yozora too. Essentially, you can skip bosses' next attack in their pattern if you hit them a frame before they recover. And so we're going to use that to hopefully skip both of Largzine's DMs here, because they are long and don't give you much opportunities to deal damage. So we're going to hit that, and then another bit of tech that's sort of hidden in the background here. Give me 1 second here, this is fast. Okay, is Circle Final Blow. If you have Rising Spiral or Groundbreaker equipped and you go ahead and press Circle for Final Blow instead of X, you will get a kind of different combo that combines Rising Spiral and Final Blow into the same slot. So you get a slightly extended combo. Okay. So we're just going to hit her here, and now she's at her first DM HP gate, and so I'm going to try and hit her right as she's recovering on the ground here. Okay, I didn't get it. That's fine. First DM. Dodge those. And you do get some opportunities for damage as you hit her clones here. It's just not a lot. All right, and then there you go. Dodge the second set. It's basically 3 waves of attacks here that she attacks you with clones. Guard those, hit the wrist dodge, and then 1 more set. It's going to be a set of 4. Just wrist dodge immediately on all of those. You'll be good to go. Last one is going to be a jump down reprisal. Then she surrounds you, delay your air slide as long as you can, and then she gives you an opening afterwards. So not too bad, just a little bit long.
What's the matter?
All right. Okay. Missing these air steps. It can be really tricky to track them. Air stepping to an enemy basically requires you to be on their auto target or lock-on reticle as you're tracking them in shot log view. And that can be sometimes very tricky depending on their behavior when you launch them in the air. All right. She's gonna drop down, hit you, and then she's open when she throws her kunai. Second DM HP barrier here, so we're gonna go ahead and try and... Got it. Okay, so whenever she goes into like this first attack in her pattern again, you know you skipped it. And so that's the second DM skip. 1 out of 2 is not terrible. And now we're just gonna finish off the fight here. She's gonna drop on me immediately here. You gotta be ready for that. It's fast if you don't know it's coming. Okay, and then 1 more opening should do it.
While we're finishing this up, folks, why don't we really support Beeboy here? Why don't we get a donation train going? $5, tell me your favorite Kingdom Hearts boss. Not just Kingdom Hearts 3, any Kingdom Hearts game. Let's get them going.
I'll start with mine. My favorite Kingdom Hearts boss is probably Yozora.
And if we want to see that, need another 1,500. You folks, we can do it. We've got like 40 minutes and we can absolutely do this.
Okay. Gonna hit circle there because it just gives you a tutorial. Luxord, not Luxord. Get it right, guys. He is kind of similar to KH2, bit of a gimmick fight, but the way his openings work are the same as all of the other Limitcut bosses. It's just that he has a time bar instead of a HP bar, so your stats are less relevant. Basically not relevant at all for the most part. Okay, this one is scary. You kind of want to time a water to hit him while he's open and then guard the cards afterwards. With counter kick, you can't normally hit that with a reprisal unless you have godlike timing. Let's see the RNG. Okay, it's a bad RNG. If he spawns the cards like this, it's magic and they're unblockable and you don't get a reprisal afterwards. Oh, he spawned back there. Oops. Okay, I should mention that for your reprisals, so counter kick into final blow, those 2 attacks in sequence don't actually add any revenge value, which is why they're so powerful at doing big damage while also letting your combo go for longer. And it also launches them into the air. For this DM, our goal is to fail. Just fail 3 times in a row. Normally, like, you would want to finish these, but it takes forever, and you have a second phase that's the same thing, just you have to find more of Luxord's cards. So we just fail twice using... Okay, this is scary. I got the HP. Okay, we're good. So I can do this. Now, you want to fail this last part, but if you're at 1 HP, you can't survive it. But if you get HP back, well then, you can survive it with second chance and withstand combo. So he will get quite a bit of time back for failing all of those, but that's okay. It is much faster to fail those than... try and go through the DM properly. All right, so I'm gonna just delay my combos here so that you can get a little bit more time off of the clock. Otherwise, you might have to do an extra opening. You can attack skip Luxord, and with his weird recovery animation on the ground, it's not uncommon. It's kind of annoying. Okay, bad RNG twice in a row. You don't want to see that. But let's see whether I can actually get the kill here. It's going to be close, I think. I wasn't so diligent in the first phase. Got it. Okay. Could have gone into extra attack there, but... Okay, next fight. Marluxia, maybe the most visually flashy, stunning boss out of the 13. It's so cool. And the strat is just as cool. We're going to camera reset here to actually get a good positioning to get that counter kick to connect. Because normally you just dodge the unblockable and then it's just a normal opening. But getting the counter kick to connect is obviously really strong. I'm going to just dive on him. Similar to the Young Xehanort setup. You've got to be paying attention because sometimes that first hit of the dive will hit his revenge value depending on the combo setup. Oh, I actually whiffed. Okay, I'm actually just going to reset this. Your damage does matter a lot on this fight. There are a lot of break points, especially in the back half of the fight, where you want to have a certain amount of damage or you're going to be in trouble. We'll just go again. It's fun. So same camera reset. Spawns him just in the right position there. All right. So we're just going to dive there. Guard that, and then air slide forward vaguely so you don't hit both hits of that first attack at the very least, and that lets you get a dive. Okay, next attack is RNG. We want one of them. Let's see what it is. It is the good one. Okay, if he sucks you in, that's a reprisal. The other one is not. That's good, a little bit of extra damage. Getting the crit counter there is really difficult because your positioning is not consistent, your distance is not consistent. It's not a consistent attack to crit counter. It's very hard. Okay, flower petals, rose bits. We're gonna be hanging out with these guys for a while. We're gonna circle final blow and then do a fire finisher to restagger, and then guard him again, pick him up again. Same exact thing, fire finisher, pick him up again. One more time. Fire finisher. And pick him up again. Okay. This armor phase here, pretty tactical. Just try and hit him as much as you can. Dodge towards the center, guard that, and then re-stagger him there. And now he's going to get launched into the air. And now you have all the time in the world up until it hits 0 above Sora's head in order to do damage to him. He's basically just open the entire time here. So we just loop him for as long as we can. So we're going to hit that at the last moment. Hitting him at the end of last charge actually lets you get a full launch into another dive. Damage is really strong here, so chilling. Okay, suction. I'm just going to instantly guard. Don't even try and go for the crit counter. It is super scary. First hit of speed slash connected there, so I'm going to whiff that first hit of the dive. Okay, this opening is super cool. He's going to spawn a pool. And then you want to hit him out before he does the suction attack. That's a KH2 reference, where you can hit him in the middle of the arena with good timing. Speaking of another KH2 reference here, well, after this. And dodge. And then we're just going to glide, because he's going to spawn 4 pools on the ground. After the third one, guard, and get your reprisal. And then we're just gonna finish him off here, but 1 HP. One last final desperation move. We're gonna try and finish this early with good positioning. If you hit him with a fire at the right time, he gets knocked out of it. Let's see if I can do it. There you go, got it. All right, next up, Terranort. This fight is middle difficulty or so. And so what I'm going to be doing for the first couple of these openings is that I'm just going to be hitting him with a Thundaga finisher, because I would like to be in the air for him when he does Sonic Impact. So now he's going to do Dark Volley. So we're just going to hit this opening like normal. Move forward so that you can actually get a counter kick at the end there. And then same deal. Our last opening here, he always starts with the same set of 3 attacks. We're going to do Thundaga, and then he's going to do Sonic Impact. And since we were in the air, it gives you the opening immediately rather than waiting, needing to wait for the first one. All right, we'll just set this up like normal, and then just do a fire to hit his RV. Okay, good RNG. If he does the slam down, instead of the Guardian combo to start with on this 4th attack, you can get a reprisal. Not a crit counter, but that's okay. We're gonna try and attack skip his DM here, but the timing is deceptively late. That one looks good. Let's see. Got it. All right, so he's just invulnerable during his DM, so we're just skipping that entirely. So our new combo, now that I don't need to Thundaga, is we're just going to do Circle Final Blow, 2 Sonic Slashes, and then we actually got a couple of attack skips there, so it's good. Late dodge roll, or early dodge roll, that's fine. Okay, give a counter kick there. Looking at his HP bar, I shouldn't dive here. I'm gonna go ahead and try and get his HP right up against the threshold so that we can get one more opening. Okay, that should be fun. Right, Dark Volley, that's good. Okay, move forward into that. And then we're going to do one more dive, and now he's going to go into Powered Up Arsalem. One of my favorite openings in the game. It's super well hidden. You can get a reprisal on it if you know what you're doing. All of this is unblockable, except for the last hit, which he loses his red aura for that last hit. So if you're looking out for that, you can realize that that last hit is blockable. I find that so clever. I love it. Okay. Good RNG again. Nice. So here he can choose between 2 Dark Volley variations. One of them gives you a reprisal, one of them doesn't. This is probably one of the more RNG dependent fights, just because of that Dark Volley and then also his Guardian combo choice. So here, one more RNG choice. He gave me the good one. In this last phase, he has a variation on his Guardian combo that still gives you a reprisal, but it's just longer. You don't want to see it if you can avoid it. All right, and I don't need to go for the whole rigmarole here, so I'm just going to hit him there, and then he's going to come at me. That's an opening immediately, but if you don't catch that opening, he comes at you immediately with another unblockable, so just hit him instantly there. Cool, cool. We're getting through these at a good clip. This is going well so far.
Nice. Do we have some time for some donations?
Give me 1 second.
Absolutely.
So Vanitas has 2 patterns that he can choose from in each of his phases. He's teleporting all over the place. Try and keep up. Okay, you can go now.
Perfect. I'd just like to let you know that we got $5 from RPD234. Thank you so much. And also we got $5 from Katuria. Thank you so much to both of you. And that is a little bit more to that Yozora Superboss fight. Everyone, we really want to see this fight. Like, look at how impressive all of these fights have been so far. This one's going to be even better, but we need your help. So please get those donations in. You can assign them to the incentives. You will get entered into prizes. There's so much cool stuff you can win. Let's get that fight going.
All right, so I'm not hitting his RV. It's kind of similar to Dark Riku. It's less of a big deal in this fight, but damage is not like a huge concern on this one in particular. So you can get away with not hitting his RV, and it just makes the fight go that little bit faster, except I hit it there. Okay, Aroga opening. We did not know about this for like months after the DLC came out. Vanitas, whenever he teleports on top of Sora to do like a combo hit, he is open if there's an Aroga on the field. Here I'm gonna not go for a dive. Yeah, I think I'm okay with just doing a little bit of extra damage. We're right up against his real D. Okay, I got hit. That's fine. I'm not scared. Okay, we're gonna hit him one more time here, and then we're over his DM HP gate, so he's gonna go into his DM. Whenever he jumps on his Keyblades, you can actually just hit him out of it immediately if you're on top of it. Here, I will go for a dive. So the setup is just right. If you hit the Sonic Splash there, you can double flight and then hit his side. Get a dive. Okay, fast or slow pattern. Yes, fast pattern. Okay, I get to show this off. So immediately after, immediately after this opening, yes, we're gonna hit an Aroga, and it's gonna be, well, you'll see. Okay, never mind. Now we'll hit an Aroga. Whoa, wait, no, I attack skipped. Okay, never mind. I guess we're gonna see another Aroga later on. Sometimes that can happen. Vanitas is one of those fights where you can definitely accidentally hit an attack skip if you hit him at a bad time in his recovery animation. Okay, so we'll see the Keyblade throw here after this move. So what we're gonna do here is be a little bit off of the wall once I actually hit him with this last combo here. Be a little off the wall. Guard 1, dodge 2, Aroga, guard the third one, and then that knocks him out of it. And then you actually have the guard from the previous. Okay, missing the dive. I think we have one more opening to contend with. That's fine. What's it gonna be? Okay. Okay, yeah. I was not ready for that. Sometimes he gives you the drop down move and then you just get the free opening. That's fine. We'll just go quickly here. We've seen all the fight is to offer at this point. That's the first bad death though. And this is scary. This fight is real scary. Those Aroga openings, like you have to time it right. You don't want to like jump into the Aroga jump pad that spawns. You got to place it just right. Okay. Fireballs. We definitely have time for donations here while we're just running it back.
Oh, amazing. We have some of those for sure. Quick question, though. Do you have a runner's choice? We have some going towards that.
What do you mean runner's choice?
Do you have an incentive you would like us to put things towards if folks want to put it to your choice? Maybe even the Yozora incentive?
Yes, please.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
With that, though, we have $5 from Lasherus. Donating my $5 to the favorite boss train. And the winner is Kingdom Hearts 1 Rock Titan. Ooh. Smash those ankles with all the tactics. Silliness aside, I'll give it to the Birth by Sleep's Darkeyed for sheer presence and music. Hunter of the Dark indeed.
Yeah, that is a good boss for sure.
We have $9.88 from Digitized. Hi all, it's time to make that tracker move. I challenge everyone to meet my donation, $9.88, which is the U.S. mental health crisis number for 24/7 confidential support. Let's raise money for a great charity and bring attention to a great resource. Remember, you are loved. We also have $50 from Mega Man X 306, which simply says, Yozora. So we are getting some movement on that, and with your help, I think we can make it.
Okay, this is the slow pattern. Nice and chill. He basically just does first phase attacks up until the Keyblade throw, which you should skip with speedrun damage. So we are chilling.
Amazing. I'll pop in once more then. We have $25 from Segaman 098, which simply says GLHF. So good luck and have fun. We certainly will.
Vanitas is so hard to air step to. He like goes higher up than you think he does. This is fireballs here, and then he's gonna do the like sonic waves one more time. So I'm actually gonna try and dive on him here for that little bit of extra damage. So you want to aim higher up for this air step. Okay, didn't get it that time. This combo is also decent damage though, but I think we'll have to see the Keyblade throw, but it'll be nice and quick. Yeah, especially with that grit counter, no chance. That's fine. We're just gonna get this combo here. Air slide that, get off the wall. Guard, dodge roll, Eroga. Okay. Guard that. Oh, the mix-up. This is what I'm talking about. Vanitas is slippery little. I don't have the words. This fight and the next one are definitely like the ones that'll mix you up the most. I guess since we're here, I should also point out that this fight is a little bit different on the PC version compared to the console version. His fake teleports, we'll see them in a second here on this move, the fireballs. When he fake teleports at the end of this, even there at the start of the attack, but right here, it's slower. I didn't guard that. Okay, that's fine. On the console version, he moves a lot faster on those teleports. It's debatable whether it's faster, slower, or rather it's harder or easier on either version. Okay, he's doing the fast pattern here. I'm just gonna hit him with the Eroga at the height of his jump. And just for my sake, I'm gonna try a couple of those. Okay. Am I too late? No. Alright. Time to lock in.
Destroy! Take this! Over here! Take this!
Okay, I would prefer predictability here. So I'm gonna go ahead and just go for the dive here. That's gonna push him into his DM phase, and then I will deal with the hard openings.
Take this! You wish!
Okay, what's it gonna be?
Take this! Over here!
Slide that. Go for the short corkscrew. The height of the corkscrew determines which variation of this attack is going to do. Jump, guard, and then hit that open. Alright, now it's going to be fireball.
Destroy! Too slow. Back off! Over here! Take this! Back off!
Alright. Okay, I'm going to be more off of the wall this time for this set of Keyblades. Okay, there you go. I would like to say the nightmare is over. However, the next fight might just be worse.
Just let me know when I can pop in with some more donations.
All right, so here we're going to turn off last charge. The rest of the bosses, we've saved the best for last. The rest of the bosses resist neutral damage to some degree, so we don't want last charge on. Now, Xion is... She hurts. That's the main thing. It's like some of the other bosses, you can at least like survive a hit or two, you know, not so big a deal, or you can at least you'll have good chances to heal. With Xion, she hurts. Just about everything brings you to 1 HP. She has HP reducing attacks, so it's not a good time. And then she mixes you up. She plays with your guard timings, and if you guard early, this one you want to guard early. On the lasers that she did before, if you guard early, you get it. I'm going to avoid the crit counter here since we're pretty close to her HP gate here. If you over-damage her here, you actually go into her next phase early, which we don't want. So we're just going to hit her up about there, and then we're going to get a set of basically the same openings again. So you can go for a little bit with donations.
Okay, we have $5 from SN_Ivan. My favorite boss is Data Sykes from Kingdom Hearts 3. Hey, we saw that guy. Come on, guys, let's try to get that Yozora. Shoutouts to my goat Beeboy for showcasing these incredible boss fights.
Hope you're doing well, Ivan. Okay, one more opening, and then we're going to go into our armor phase. We're going to flash step into this attack here. Flash step is a little bit special. It can ignore most guard breaking moves and give you a regular guard if you time it properly. So there, instead of getting the wrist dodge, we got a normal reprisal. Okay, guard her flurry here immediately. Get off the wall. This move that she just did can guard fail if you're on the wall. This boss is unfortunately one of the few... Okay, this is actually kind of scary, right? Focus here a little bit. All right, I'm going to try and stagger her a little bit more here, get a little bit of extra damage. Okay, that should be good, I think. So just going to move forward a little bit. Guard into that. That looks good. Air step into her, guard those, and then get a counter kick. Okay, her damage is really good. We're going to go right up against her DM. And then we're going to back off, let her do one more attack, and then we're going to try an attack skip here. Magic finishers don't add RV, so we can just get in there. Got it. Okay, that's really good. Here you want to be off the wall a little bit. Okay, this might be fine though. Yeah, no, it's fine. Dive on her. Some overheads. No opening here that we know of. This is a mystery. There should be an opening here. We just don't know what it is. Well, should is a strong word, but almost every attack on these fights has openings. We've discovered some of them years after the DLC came out. So there's a good chance that we're missing one or two on this fight in particular. Okay, hit that crit counter, and then she's dead. Okay. Oof.
Nice work. Let me know when I can read some more things.
You can go ahead right now.
Fabulous. We have $5 from Hal. Favorite boss? Get up on the Hydra's back! Honorable mention to Sykes.
All right. Xemnas. Okay, he gives me the wrist dodge at the start here. So what okay, actually, I'm just gonna try that again. If you reprisal into that spinny move that he does at the proper timing, you can actually get a crit counter. Because normally that attack is a little bit bugged and you can't get the crit counter bonus damage. Let's see, he does it again, so you reprisal into it, and so there you saw how Sora was red. Normally he just loses that when you go into that wrist dodge there. Okay, I don't mind getting hit by the vine here. This is a little bit of old tech on Limitcut. Dodge into oh, I wasn't close enough there. I'm gonna try one more time. You don't want to sandbag too much on this fight. But if you dodge roll into the orb with the proper timing, you can actually catch a guard and get a reprisal on that move. Okay, got it again. So let me focus here. So we're just gonna hit his RV regularly. Air slide that. Have this come down. Dodge roll in, guard, get the crit counter, and then lets you go up. So because I got the wrist dodge opening, I'm actually going to sandbag my damage just up until the DM HP barrier and get a little bit of an extra opening. Air slide that vine. You those vines are unblockable and they will force your position into another location. They can be very disorienting. And in the second phase, if you get hit by most of the vines, you lose out on most of your opening opportunities. So you want to learn how to dodge those as early as possible. Okay, he's going to set up some barriers, maybe familiar from KH1 and KH2. We break them, and if you break all three, he gives you an opening, or break them fast enough, rather. And then here, we're going to Speed Slash, Water Finisher. Shoutouts to Dips. We'll get back to Dips soon. And that Water Finisher staggers him for a good while so that you can actually get the dive. Okay. I'm going to just drop here. Let him come to me. Hit that opening. And now we're going to go into the DM after this. So yeah, Dips, good friend of mine, German KH3 runner. He is second place on the leaderboards currently for Limitcut. Was a world record holder for a long time. He's real good. That water finisher, I believe, was his idea, so shout outs to him. Here, if you dodge all the vines, you get an opening at the end here during the DM, which is very nice. We're going to Sonic Slash and then Air Slide, and that gives us... Okay, Sora got stuck up against the wall. That can happen if you're holding your left analog stick into it. Laser Dome. The old classic, except this time he's going to attack you during it as well. It's fastest to just guard all of his attacks and dodge the vines rather than letting the vines carry you. This next sequence coming up has one of the toughest guard timings in the game. That right there, you cannot hit that without getting it in like a 5-frame window. Those crit counters in the middle, very tough timing. Okay, guard that. Dodge those unblockables, and then bullet hell. Stuns you at the end, so just get unstunned, and then hit him for an opening. Okay, RNG here, he's gonna add vines to his old moves. This one here, before it was a reprisal, now because of the vines, you just have to take a normal combo punish, unfortunately. I don't want him up here. Does this hit RV? It doesn't. I'm just going to drop. Just let him come down. He's going to spawn downstairs, and then that lets the orbs come at a proper clip. Guard that. And drop on him here. Guard. Extra vine. And then this vine here is still the same opening. Okay. Should be good to go on this last opening here. Once he teleports away, hits you with this vine, which is fine. And then reprisal him, and we should be good to go. I'll do the water finisher swag. Unless it kills him. Okay, it didn't. 1 HP. Cool. All right. 2 more. And both of them are tough. But Ansem is so cool. Ansem and Master Xehanort are both so cool. So if you play fighting games, the proper term for Ansem is a zoner. He basically is all projectiles besides like 1 attack. Okay, I didn't guard that properly. We'll run that back. The timing on that is tight. You need to be looking while you're in the air step animation for when you should guard in order to get the crit counter. So you can air slide backwards again. Guard the first one, hit that. Then hit that, good, okay. Instead of going for the dive here, I'm actually going to go for a Thundaga finisher and land right on top of Ansem. If you are right on top of him as he does this mine move, he skips the laser cage, which is obviously fast. Now there, I did not do that exactly properly. You want to get a crit counter by timing your flash step a little bit earlier. So we'll do that on the next one. It'll be after here. So we're going to do another Thundaga finisher. Circle Final Blow helps out a lot on this fight, by the way, because normally he falls out at a weird angle when you speed slash him. Okay, wait, so... Okay. Too early. I want to heal. Okay, not going to give it to me. That's fine. That's the speed slash gravity meme that can happen. He like just falls out. This bomb is gonna chase me, so I'm just gonna get out of there. And so now we're going into the DM phase proper. A little bit of extra damage I didn't want to take, that's fine. When he goes into his DM phase, when he spawns these dark balls, that Fire Raga that comes out, those multiple projectiles, will inflict status effects on Sora. Basically, all of the different status effects in the game, Ansem has access to. So he can make Sora sneeze. He can freeze him. He can burn him. He can apply Cloud, which messes with your command menu in a big way. Very annoying. So if you want to avoid those, you probably want to put on some armor to avoid those status effects. Okay, we're gonna get a reprisal here, cheeky, hopefully. Glide for a bit, then guard, 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 and delay that as much as you can, and you can actually knock him out with a reprisal there. Okay, gonna go for a dive proper, Sonic Slash, and then hit the dive there. Oh, okay, this is Laser Rain. We're gonna go there, send him up. And here I'm gonna go for just a slightly lower damage setup so that I can make sure I avoid that laser cage. Okay, early again. Yeah, that's the problem. So when you go early, you don't actually make any of the mines explode. And when you don't make any of the mines explode, you can't guard them. The timing is not too tight, but it's not super intuitive at the same time. I will hit it here.
While we're working through the fight again, can I read out some donations?
Absolutely.
Fabulous. We have $25 from Anonymous. Thank you so much. We also have a $5 donation from Leggy Starscream. Come on, everyone. If we work together, we can get that Yozora incentive met. After all, Kingdom Hearts is light.
True.
So we still need close to 1,500 to get that. So, folks, we're going to need a miracle, but if anyone can make it happen, if anyone can summon the light of Kingdom Hearts, it's all of you, and I have faith we can do it. We have 2 more fights, and we can get there.
So, yeah, so now I hit the Flash Step properly. The back half of Flash Step in KH3 has iframes, and so even though you have explosions happening all around you, you are iframed, and you can just time your guard, basically whenever in that sequence, and you'll get a guard. Or you'll get the guard to connect, rather. Okay, now this first phase went as it should, and so we're going to do one more dive. We'll do a backup here. Fire Finisher launches him, and then you can just land on him. All right. Dodge, dodge, get in there, guard that. Okay, the orbs can hit you from behind like that. It is very annoying. That is a possibility if you are positioned poorly like I was. Normally it's not a problem. You guard in time and then you just catch him. There. Little unfortunate. Okay.
Can I come in with a very important announcement?
Yes.
We have met the Yozora Superboss Showcase. We are still waiting for that donation that pushed us through to come forward, but thank you in advance.
Yeah. Thanks.
Here it is. We have $1,400 from Zathian, who says, is it too late for game titles? My favorite in the series was Kingdom Hearts 4th. I don't know what game we're making up here, but thank you so much. We could not have done this without you. Because of that, we will be seeing Yozora.
Excellent. All right. Damage is a little bit under where I want it to be. That is okay, though. We're just going to have to do a little bit of disco ball gaming. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second. Okay. So here he's going to send out 2 separate streams of bullets at you. But we have a setup to get a reprisal. Shout out to Dips for that specific setup. Weird timing. Okay, no dive. That's all right.
Return to darkness.
Okay, if you let the Dion go on, he's gonna spawn stripy balls. They are very hard to see depth perception wise. You just kind of gotta know what to look for. Okay, there you go. We got him. Be a little tricky to dodge, but we got there in the end. All right, uno más. Now for this one, I want everybody, whether you're here in the venue or at home, I am giving you a pass to scream along with every single one of Xehanort's lines here, because they are the best. Okay, no Keyblade this time, unfortunately. He'll probably do it next time.
Feel free to donate those lines as well.
I will contribute once. So yeah, Xehanort's voice actor has gone through multiple iterations. First it was Leonard Nimoy. Then it was Rutger Hauer, both sci-fi legends. And then finally now we have Christopher Lloyd. He nailed it, is all I can say. He nailed it. Shine! Judgments! Give me power! Any Back to the Future fans out there, that's for you. Okay, he's gonna throw these Beyblades at us, I guess. Going for a reprisal. Unfortunately, you can't get a dive easily on this specific punish because the game doesn't let you double flight when you do air slide at specific bad times. Don't want to over damage him here, so we're gonna stop there. That should be good. Dodge roll that, get the guard, and now we're gonna dive on him. And set up. You can attack skip Xehanort's DM. However, it's divided into 4 separate parts. And so you need to attack skip 4 separate times in a row in order, there it is, Keyblade. You need to attack skip 4 separate times in order to get the full DM skip. I'm not gonna do that. So we're just gonna go ahead and let him cook here. The GOAT. I'm so glad we got English voices. Dodge that, that's unblockable, and then guard that. Okay, cool. No way to damage him there, so you're just surviving the onslaught. 13 darknesses. Give me power, yes. Okay. Here, you want to hit his RV so desperately. This opening that comes up is really tight. If you don't get the extra time that his Revenge at Value animation gives you there, it is extremely tough to catch that opening. Okay, here we're gonna set up the camera, hopefully properly. It's a little off to the left, that's fine. Same deal, Beyblade Gaming. Hit him there. All right, time is coming up in 2 combos, or 2 openings, I guess. Oh, shine, yes. Judgments, give me power. It's so good. Whip, guard, dodge. And he's open on the 4th one here. All right, one more. Okay, no attacks, so please. That would be weird. No, it's not. Here we go. All right, do we get Keyblade to finish it off? No. Unlucky. Anyways, let's get the dive here. Get ready on time. Time. There you go. Excellent. Couple of tricky deaths from a certain boss, but otherwise not too shabby. Okay, so we've met the Yozora incentive, so I guess we go straight into that. So for Yozora, we're going to use Kingdom Key only. I have a special save just for that. I'll just show my setup again for everybody. And we're going to be using Counter Slash with no last charge. So here are my stats, no food on. And then here's my equipment. So Kingdom Key, a couple of upgrades on it, but doesn't affect anything. You're under the damage floor. Armor, and then second chance withstand combo. And then I have Flaniversary badge on. MP Hastra helps. MP Thrift helps. Then, like I said, Counter Slash, no last charge. You can start the timer once I actually skip the cutscene here. Yeah, I'm ready to go. This cutscene skip will be now. Okay, so Yozora is a little bit more of a puzzly boss than the Limitcut fights, which are already pretty puzzly. A lot of the time, his openings require you to be active and do something. You can't just sit back and get openings. So here for this charge sword, you need to actually attack him now, and then he jumps backwards, and that's the opening. If you don't attack him, he just will never be free. He'll just be attacking, and you won't be able to stagger him at all. Okay, next attack here is going to be the Keyblade Steal, but we're going to stop him from doing it by casting magic. Pushing him back 4 times actually gives you an opening, so we just use 2 Arogas there in order to actually push him back. Keyblade Steal, very scary, long animation, but just avoid it. Now this is the teleport sword. Normally that sword teleports behind you, but with a specific timing and setup, if you air slide into Yozora, he teleports off the field, which makes your guard go in front of you, and then you can discard the sword. And it's a reprisal. I just did something kind of sneaky there. For certain attacks, especially the ones where Yozora is hit with a reprisal, wait, I'm just gonna move forward here real quick. It'll be on this attack here. I can show you right now. Guard, guard, guard. So when you hit Yozora with a reprisal and then you hit him with his base finisher that just launches him sideways, he ends up standing on the air, and that resets his position. And when he resets his position, he resets his RV, and that lets you get more damage in.
Nice try.
So I'm going to be doing that whenever I can. Pyramid, just going to put an Aroga in the back and knock him out of it. A lot of people like to Thundaga on the second pyramid. That also works. Okay. Normally, people glide the tractor beam. I'm just gonna run it down.
Got this.
And try and position myself right here.
Got this.
Walk out. And then air step in. I don't want him to steal the... Okay, never mind, I missed. Sonic Slash 1 for once.
Nope.
If you go into his tractor beam at the wrong time, Yozora can steal your Koopa coin
Nice try.
and res at the end of the fight and get half HP back. It is very bad, but it's also kind of cool. He did not steal my Koopa coin in this case, so we are fine.
Nice try.
Okay. 6-hit combo, and then it's going to be Teleport Sword afterwards. Made him go away, so my guard goes in the correct direction. Okay, he's going to stand on air one more time. And then we're going to go into the DM phase.
Take this.
You can see my MP is slowly but surely recharging. We will have that back in time for the place where we need MP. MP slip, the pro code. doubles your MP recharge time, which makes it take even longer. Kind of tough. Blue in this fight means unblockable, so you just want to air slide those two lasers as they come at you. For whatever reason, this isn't a reprisal, but he stands on the air for this one, so we're just going to try and hopefully get the dive. I did get it, good. That's kind of a tough one to time. Now, he's going to do his charge mix-up. He can pick from one of 3 patterns. For this one, you want to look for when he spawns to the side a little bit. Hard to see because of the background. Here he does unblockable and then 2 blockables. This is like the worst position to be in because it makes the blue really, really hard to see. Kind of an accessibility fail there, but it is what it is. All right, Gigas. These have colors. They are weak to the magic that is indicated by their color. So I'm going to get rid of those. I'll dodge the water one here, and then I'm going to Thundaga all of these guys all at once. And I'll just get rid of my MP for good measure.
It's over. There.
The elemental properties of the Gigas were actually discovered relatively recently, like in the past year. If you do not hit the teleport sword opening here, Yozora gives you like extra attacks that are really tough to deal with, so watch out for that. Okay, I'm just gonna glide. I'm gonna not dive here. Well, I missed the dive, so we're just gonna guard these. And normally you face the camera to the edge of the arena. I'm not gonna do that. He's coming from the edge. So I kind of just gotta know the timing. And then the final part here, he's gonna try and suck you into the big energy ball here. This section in the files is called High Voltage, which is just a cool name. I like it.
I don't think so.
You need to hit him with 5 reprisals here. Okay, scary. 5 reprisals gets you out of that armor phase, and then it's just a regular opening.
What a pain.
No Wizard Ruse, by the way, so we'll see.
Now.
Okay. In the second phase of this fight, essentially, a lot of the moves have been turned into unblockables, which make it harder to punish them. Some variations on the pattern and stuff, too. Okay, he's going to give us all 3 of these charge patterns here. Fast one, you need to guard quickly. This one here, he just goes to the side. When he goes to the side, you just guard. Once he's off center, that's when you guard, not before. Now he's okay.
So.
I don't think so. Shout out to Mr. Sprouse.
I don't think so. Got this. You're done. Got this.
That's the Keyblade steal there.
Now.
Over here.
Gonna have him stand on the air again for the RV reset. All right, interesting whiff there. But should still be fine.
What a pain.
What a pain. Okay, tough. Yeah, so that timing, you kind of got to go it blind. And there you reprisal through the unblockable, and that lets you hit him out of that.
Nice try.
Oh, I could have gotten the RV reset there.
Nope.
6 lasers, and then he's open. Normally people air step for that opening. Don't do that. Just dodge roll forward on the 6th laser, and then he won't jump backwards and cause problems for you.
Shall we?
Shall we? Okay. Almost there.
I don't think so.
Okay. Single tractor beam.
Got this.
Just gonna run it. No opening here in the second phase. Just goes away.
Now.
Uh-oh. Okay, I missed the opening. That's fine. Okay, he's doing this again.
This'll do it. Nope. I don't think so.
Okay. Last opening here, hopefully.
Nice try. Let's go.
And there you go. Bang! Okay. I avoided the worst case scenario, dying at the end. There you go. That is Yozora. That's Limitcut. And that's Kingdom Hearts 3, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for having me. I'm Beeboy. Beeboy Cubed on Twitch. Beeboy SR on YouTube. I'd like to give massive shout outs to the big boys, my speedrunner friends. And I would like to give specifically for Limitcut, I'd like to give shout outs to the small community of tight-knit APC Limitcut runners that we have. So on the Japanese side, we've got Seo Wakaba, Mushroom, Ouija board, and then one more. Wait, I'll get back to you on that. Wait. And then on the English side, there's Random Dips, the Yosh 047, Missmaster 1. He was the guy that really pushed me to get out of the lab and get onto actually doing runs. Biz, Biscuit 047. All of y'all, thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me, everybody.
Is any of this for real?
There you go.
Or not?
Well, thank you so much to B-Boy and that amazing run of Kingdom Hearts 3, the Super Boss Rush. Now that we're done with that, let's talk about one of our sponsors. Let's talk about Tantrum Merch. Tantrum Merch is excited to partner with RPG Limit Break for the first time to launch an exclusive merch collection supporting the National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI. This lineup includes 8 unique shirt designs, including a replica of this year's 10th anniversary attendee shirt, as well as a cozy blanket, a sleek journal, an enamel pin, a stainless steel water bottle, an RPG LB cap, and more, featuring bold graphics to heartfelt designs. $5 from every sale of these items goes directly to charity. In addition to this great merchandise, we are thrilled to announce that for the first time, there's our very own real-life Mimi plush with an opening lid to store your treasures. Once Tantrum has sold 165 Mimi plushes, half of the proceeds from all of those purchases will be donated directly to NAMI. And you can see the progress to this goal at the top of the screen. And if you purchase a Mimi during the event and include your Twitch handle in your order, our content team will give you a shout out live on stream. Explore the full collection now at tantrummerch.com/RPG Limit Break and help make a difference. With that, I've been your host, Natara. Just stay tuned. We're going to go to some ads, and then the absolutely amazing Selkuth Mind is going to take over. And folks, y'all are not ready. See you later.
thank you, Natara, for that wonderful intro. RPG Limit Break, how are you doing? I'm Selkith or Self for short, and I'm excited to be coming to you live from Denver, raising money for NAMI. And speaking of that, we have donations coming in, such as $15 from Saffronia. Hello, RPGLB. I want to thank all the runners for raising money for such an important cause, and one that is so close to the hearts of many. Everyone has their story with mental health, and it makes me so happy to finally be able to contribute to the cause this year. Donation goes to naming a forge in Fire Emblem Echoes on Aegir. And that is a fantastic reminder. We have a ton of incentives for this next run, which is Fire Emblem 15. One of those is, of course, the name weapon forges. Options currently are Von Aegir, Elf, Eldegan, and Gallica? Donate. Tell me how to say it correctly. We're going to run into that a few times. But we have so many more as well. There's a Save Delphia. There's Save Tatiana and Zeke. So many incentives. Get your donations in chat to help decide what's going to happen. But speaking of that, we have some incredible runs coming up tonight. Some that I'm super excited for, including one that we have an interview for right now with Ghost Kumo. So take it away.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to RPG Limit Break 2025. If you're new here, thank you all for sticking with us. If you've been here a while, I am Ghost Kumo, and we're live from sunny Denver, Colorado, such that we are wearing sunglasses, as they are going to be relevant to the game that we're talking about. We're going to be talking about our sun, or Bokuda no Taiyo, which is often just shortened to Boktai in the North American release. And I'm joined by my good friend here, Drakodan, who's going to be running the game, Boktai 2, Solar Boy Django.
Zoku Bokuda no Taiyo.
Yes. Anyways, how you doing today, Draco?
I'm doing good, thank you. How about you?
Doing pretty well. I'm excited for this run. I've been excited for it a while. Actually, I think I was the one who kind of may have talked you into submitting it.
Possible.
Yes. Yeah, so how have you been liking your time here at RPG Limit Break? I believe this is your first in attendance.
Yes, I'm enjoying it a lot. It's very cozy, very close-knit, really enjoying it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So what's kind of I kind of actually, to elaborate on that a little bit, so you've been submitting to all sorts of marathons over the years. You've done ESA, you've done GDQ a few times. What's kind of your impression of RPG Limit Break, this being your first time?
It is, very positive so far. I really like the variety runs on display. Obviously, everything is RPG-centric, but I'm seeing a lot of very fresh stuff that I'm not super familiar with. Everyone's been super friendly, so it's a very enjoyable environment. And obviously, everyone has been working very, very hard. I'm just very impressed with the standard.
Absolutely. Yeah, so you said this RPGs. So you've said to me before you're not like a huge into RPGs, but I know there's some that you've touched on. Kind of give us your, why don't you go ahead and give us some of your background on like some of the RPGs you've run, because I know you've done stuff like Undertale before, as well as a couple others.
Yeah, so I ran Undertale for a few years when it was like newer. I was primarily a No Mercy runner. That's the diplomatic term I'm going to use. I'm sure you all know what I mean. It has a reputation for being a very boring RNG fest, but I quite enjoy the pure optimization that goes into it and the famous boss fights of the category. So Undertale is one that I have enjoyed a lot. I've been known to dabble in Mega Man Battle Network, specifically Mega Man Battle Network 3, which I've never had a particularly good time for, but I've had a history of shilling certain route options which have been dubious, but I'm still a big believer in. So maybe someday I'll get serious with that game, but I doubt it.
Right. So that kind of brings me to my next question. If there was one RPG that, you know, time permitting, you had the ability to quickly learn and get to go into running it, what RPG would you run most, or want to run most?
I'm allowed to show this, right?
Yes.
That'd be this game. That'd be Grandir. This is my favorite game of all time. Originally a Saturn title. The Saturn version was only released in Japan, and the North American and European release was on PS1. Definitely my favorite RPG. It's one that has only really had a small but very dedicated fan base, and we're currently in the process of, I want to say tentatively rerouting it, because I had a theory fairly recently about how a couple of game mechanics work and how we might optimize some combat. And I did some testing and it largely turned out to be true. And the current world record holder is trying to do some work on seeing how viable it is to implement this idea. In TLDR, it makes some fights easier and some fights harder, so it may be a wash, but I think it's a pretty exciting idea of essentially manipulating how fast your powerhouse DPS party member, which isn't the main party member, that's the interesting thing. The strat revolves around making your like primary protagonist as wimpy as possible. And so it just increases the power of one of the later party members you get, essentially enabling them to take more turns.
Yeah, I've seen little bits and pieces of Grandia over the years. Never actually got quite the chance to play it myself, but I recently played the Lunar Remaster Collection, which I believe was by the same developer, so I'm definitely interested. I have it on my Switch, so I have to get to that eventually. I always thought the combat kind of like mechanics of how the turn system in that game works was really interesting.
Yeah. I also have to check out Luna because, as you mentioned, I'm a fake RPG fan. I haven't played most of them.
Yeah, it's all good. We get people from all sorts of RPG crowds here. I know back, in the past, we had people like Critical Sid, who I know you probably know through the Sonic community.
Yeah.
He doesn't run a lot of RPGs, but he's really big in the Golden Sun, and we got him to run Golden Sun Lost Age many years ago. So yeah, RPG Limit Break. If you are somebody who likes, a couple of RPGs and just runs a couple of RPGs, we still take people like that at our events. So to get to the main game, the main subject, I guess, of this interview, Boktai 2. So you've been kind of on like I would say, I guess, a world tour of speedrunning this game. I know you ran it at ESA last year. You ran it at ASM, Australia Speedrun Marathon, and now here you are in the States running the game. What's that been like for you?
Yeah, I've done Europe, I've done Australia, I'm doing the United States now. Hopefully at some point I'll do Japan, maybe, we'll see. It's ESA was an interesting one because I did a shorter category for ESA, just a partial game category. Boktai had never been in a IRL marathon in any capacity before that, so I think the easiest way to get it into a marathon at an early stage was to offer a shorter category. And so I did the quote-unquote Purify Django category for ESA, which is essentially play the first 45 minutes of the any % route and then leave the audience hanging thinking, wait, isn't the game going to continue? But then that's the trick. Then you say, well, next time I'll submit the full run. Then you get to see how the full run goes. And then I did the full run for ASM, which was a lot of fun. It's a pretty nerve-wracking run to do. I'm a little nervous about how tonight's going to go, but I'm about as prepared as I reasonably can be. So here I am now, and hopefully the any % run tonight is going to be smooth sailing. There are some things that can go pretty wrong in the run. Like, there's only a handful of things that can go really wrong, but they can go really, really wrong. So, like I say, I am as prepared as I think I reasonably can be, and I know how to mitigate most of the worst things that can happen, but we'll see how it goes.
Yep, right on. So this is actually a little known detail. So the game's not super well known, but probably the name behind it is the one who's one of the most known in gaming. Hideo Kojima worked on this game. So kind of what it's just such a strange idea behind a game. So we're actually going to be running this on the Japanese version, and you're going to be running on the actual cartridge, which is quite an interesting little piece of technology. Go ahead and tell us about the game itself and the kind of gimmick behind it and how that works in the run.
Yeah, so for anyone who isn't familiar with what Boktai actually is, you play as the titular solar boy Django. You are a vampire hunter who uses the power of sunlight to slay the hordes of the undead and the immortal vampires, but you use actual sunlight to do it. The GBA cartridge has a physical solar panel built into it. It's a technical term, it's a semiconductor photon diode, which detects UV radiation of a specific wavelength, aka sunlight. And so you need to use real UV energy to play the game. Technically, you can complete the game without any solar power, and that is a category in and of itself, but it is much, much slower. And the game really isn't tuned for the player having access to really strong sunlight. There's a solar gauge that measures how much solar exposure you're getting, and the mechanics are really not tuned for being able to max out the solar sensor. It's almost impossible to max out the solar sensor with natural sunlight, and the game actually has, you mentioned that it's a Hideo Kojima game. There are a lot of Kojima-esque mechanics in the game, one of which is the overheat mechanic, which I believe was also built in as a failsafe to protect kids back in the day, because if you have the solar sensor at too high a level for too long, you trigger an overheat, which disables the sensor entirely, and you need to go into the shade for a certain time in order for the sensor to become active again. So I believe that was put in so that kids literally wouldn't stay out all day and get heat stroke.
Only Hideo Kojima would come up with something like this.
That's one of the most sensible mechanics in the game as well. There are some very strange mechanics in Boktai 2, which some of them factor into the run. One of them in particular, I really wish could factor into the run, and I tried to route it in, but we just can't quite make it work.
Yeah, so kind of, I guess that lead my next question here. So what is it that like drew you to want to run this game? Was it kind of this weird mechanic, or was it just interest in running this game that, you know, maybe didn't have a whole lot of attention to it?
Yeah, so Boktai for me like follows the soft rule that I have, which is that pretty much all the games that I run are ones that are like childhood classics. I barely run any games that I haven't played a lot as a kid. So it was the one that I happen to have. Like, I have, just like being a fake RPG fan, I'm also a fake Boktai fan, because 2 is the only one in the series I've played. It's the one that I happen to have as a kid. So in between just really liking it as a kid and then becoming acquainted with speedrunning and seeing, like, in more recent years that there were people that actually speedrun this series, I was like, that is so cool. I really wish I could do that. And for years, I procrastinated over learning Boktai 2, because when I first came to the game and became aware of it, the route was a lot harder than it is now. And I say that with, I just mentioned how dangerous the route is now. Like, it used to be a lot more dangerous, to the point where like you couldn't really make any major mistakes, or the route could be borderline unfinishable, just due to how some of the mechanics work. Namely that you need to spend money in the game in order to continue. Like, if you take a death and game over, you need to spend some cash to continue. And in the original route, cash was very strictly routed. Like, you barely had enough money to afford everything you needed. And it's like, if you take a death, well, you probably don't have enough money for stuff. And the nature of the game being that you go through as fast as possible, you're grossly underleveled, you have maximum investment in strength and no survivability stats, and you're wearing no armor to move faster, basically makes it so that once you reach mid-game and beyond, you're lucky if you can survive a hit from most things. So it more or less demanded near enough perfect play in order to be able to finish the game. It is more forgiving in that regard now, but the objective is obviously still don't get hit and don't die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a really cool run. I've gotten the chance to see it when you ran it for Questing for Glory back in November, and I'm really excited to see it get showcased. So that's going to be in about 3.5 hours later tonight, after we got a couple of Fire Emblem runs. We just finished Kingdom Hearts. We have a couple of Fire Emblem runs by Kirby Masta, and then a run of King's Quest, I believe, is the next one, and then it's going to be Boktai 2. So definitely stick around and check that out. Keep on getting your donations in to the event. We got lots of incentives coming up. Lots of great runs, and you're going to want to see a lot of those incentives. There's going to be some really cool stuff there. Thank you very much. I'm going to send it over to Selku. Take it away.
Thank you for that fantastic interview, GK and Drakodan. Oh, I am so excited for this block. There's so many incredible things coming up. But I want to point out, we are $11 away from $37,000 total raise for Nami. And you know what? I have an idea. We have so many incentives for this Fire Emblem 15 run. Why don't we get a $5 donation train or a $15 donation train, any amount you want. It could, as long as it's got a 5 in there somewhere, be happy to have it. And let's put that towards, first of all, the Save Delthea incentive. That incentive is going to be the first one that's going to come up in this run. It's going to be coming up fairly quickly. So let's get some momentum on that. I believe in you. I know we can get that met. We also have an incentive to save Tatiana and Zeke. That's going to mean that our runner is going to have to take a detour. We're going to get 10 extra minutes of gameplay, which means more RPG limit break. Sounds like a great deal to me. We also have a number of bid wars to name things. There's a bid war to decide, are we going to kill Dean or Sonya? Or you can look at it as, which one are we going to save? Indeed. And You heard my call. Thank you, chat. You have donated, and we are now past the $37,000 amount. Thank you all so much. We have $10 from an anonymous donor with no comment. Thank you so much for that. And we have another $10 from anonymous, also with no comment. Thank you both so much for those donations towards NAMI. You know, I'd like to remind everyone a little bit all about NAMI. NAMI, or the National Alliance on Mental Illness, is the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization. NAMI provides advocacy, education, support, and public awareness to improve the lives of all individuals and families affected by mental illness. NAMI exists to ensure that no one is alone on their mental health journey. Indeed, that's so important that folks are not alone. And, you know, looking again at these incentives for this next run, so many of them are about adding people to our party, making sure that we are not alone in this. We have $25 from Timothy Wilson. I love this event and want to see it continue for years to come. Indeed, this is our 10th anniversary event. We are super excited. We're in a new location here in Denver, Colorado. It's an incredible time here. And so far, the event has been great. Chat, I can see you. And also, of course, when you donate, I can see this as well. Why don't you donate and tell me, what has been your favorite run of the event so far? Or what run are you looking forward to? I know I've got some that I'm excited for, including the Fire Emblem runs that are coming up right next. All right, I have an update on some of those incentives for the Fire Emblem 15 run. That Saved Althea one is now up to $60 out of the 400 needed. I know, chat, that we can get there. Absolutely believe. We also are at 72 out of the 800 needed to save Tatiana and Zeke near the very end of the run. And as well, the bid wars are heating up. The named weapon Forges Von Ager has taken the lead quite strongly. That is now at $20, with Elf in second place at $5, and then Eldegan and Gallica tied for $1 each. But that's not a huge gap. You can change that easily yourself, or you can recommend your own options as well. And the Kill Dean or Sonya bid war also has some movement on that. Dean is in the lead at $12 with Sonya at $5. Clearly, y'all seem to be wanting to kill Dean. But if you would rather see we save Dean instead, donate for Sonya and help us decide what we're going to see. still getting set up for the Fire Emblem 15 run, I'd like to tell you all a little bit more about Tantrum. We have the exclusive RPG Limit Break and Tantrum merch now live. Shop the RPG Limit Break collection featuring shirts, the Mimi plushie, and much more. And what's better, Tantrum merch will donate up to $5 per item sold, excluding the Mimi plush, to the National Alliance on Mental Illness and its mission. Grab your gear now at tantrummerch.com/RPG Limit Break. There's so many cool things. We've added more designs to the store very recently. And the Mimi plush, if we hit 165 of those, that's the minimum needed to have it get made. Every one after that, there's going to be money going to NAMI. So it's still a fantastic deal to get as well. I called for donations and you all have answered. We have donations coming in, such as this $25 from Ghost Fox 007. Excited to see Kirby Masta do another Fire Emblem run. Had the opportunity to chat with you a few years back at Limit Break, and you gave me some of the great advice that helped me with my own playthrough of Three Houses. Good luck with your run, and hope everyone on location is having a great time. I'm living vicariously through all of you this week. Thank you so much for that donation, Tanami. And indeed, we're having a fantastic time here. Those of you who are in the room, are you having a great time here? We have $25 from Jordan V with no comment, but thank you for that donation, Tanami. And we have $11 from Drake Lake. I just want to say, Nuke Stare. GLHF, Kirby Masta. Thank you all so much for those donations. And the amounts are going up on those incentives. Save Delphia is now at $85 out of the $400 needed. Again, that is the first incentive of the run. So if you want to see Delphia get saved, you need to get those donations in for that one. Save Tatiana and Zeke is also going up. That one's at 122 out of the 800 needed. Again, exclamation mark donate in chat, and every dollar goes to the wonderful National Alliance on Mental Illness.